The strange. Offer the sun hung low over the dusty streets of the small colony, painting everything in shades of orange and gold. A lone human traveler walked carefully through the narrow alleys, his boots scuffing against the worn metal floor. Panels. He had been traveling for days from the distant trade hub, carrying nothing but a small pack and a heavy heart. The colony was quiet, almost too quiet, but he felt a strange pull toward a tiny tavern at the corner. The smell of roasted food and alien spices made his stomach growl. He pushed the door open and stepped inside. The warm air hit him like a soft wave, but something unusual caught. His eye immediately, a small creature sat near the far wall, its eyes wide and shining. It was no taller than a child, yet it had features that were clearly not human. Its ears pointed slightly backwards, and fur that shimmered like liquid silver. The creature watched him with curiosity, tilting its head. As if it understood him, the traveler froze. Not because he was afraid, but because he felt that the creature was waiting for him, waiting for something important. He moved slowly toward it, and the creature spoke, its voice soft but clear. "I can clean your boots, human. Just feed me until you're full." The words struck him like a lightning bolt. He had heard rumors of alien creatures that could speak, but never believed them. Yet here it was, sitting calmly, looking at him, waiting. A silence filled the room as other patrons continued their meals, pretending not to notice the strange interaction. The human hesitated, his mind racing. Should he ignore it, or should he play along? Curiosity won. He knelt slowly and placed one of his boots in front of the creature. The little being sniffed it, then inspected it with surprising care. Finally, it began to clean the boot, its tiny claws moving with precision. The human watched. In awe, he had never seen anything like it. Each movement was exact, almost artistic. He couldn't help but smile, but then he realized something strange. The creature did not stop when the boot was clean. It looked at him again, its big eyes, almost pleading. "Feed me," it said simply. The traveler chuckled softly. "Just for the first time?" he asked. The creature shook its head, its expression serious. "Until you are full," it replied. The words were simple but carried a weight he could not explain. He glanced around the tavern, wondering if anyone else had seen this, but everyone seemed too busy with their own meals. He opened his pack and pulled out a small portion of roasted meat, placing it in front of the creature. It sniffed the food, then devoured it in seconds. Cleaning the boot continued between bites. The human felt an unusual mix of amusement and unease. This creature was not just clever, it was bold, while the creature ate. It glanced up at him. "I know why you travel alone, human," it said, and the words made his stomach tighten. How could it know? He wanted to ask, but something told him not to. Instead, he decided to watch quietly as the creature finished cleaning his second boot. It paused, then looked directly into his eyes. "If you choose to feed me forever, I will help you," it whispered. The human's mind raced. What did it mean? Was it a trick or a promise? He felt the weight of the moment. He had traveled far, faced dangers, and now a small creature with shining eyes was offering something he could not refuse. The tavern door creaked open. A cold wind swept in, making the candles flicker. The human's thoughts were interrupted by a sudden noise outside. Someone shouted. A vehicle approached the colony. The creature's ears twitched, and it cleaned the remaining boot faster, almost with urgency. It finished, then stepped back, its small frame almost glowing under the lantern light. "Choose soon, human," it said, and the words echoed in his mind. He wanted to ask more questions, to understand why it was here, but he felt that some things were not meant to be known yet. He finally nodded slowly. "I will feed you for now," he said, unsure what he meant by "for now." The creature's eyes sparkled, almost like it was smiling. It bowed slightly, then sat calmly, waiting. The human realized that this was no ordinary creature. Something told. him that his life was about to change forever. Outside the tavern, the sun sank completely, leaving only the distant stars and the glowing lights of the colony. He could not know what adventures awaited, but he knew one thing. He had just made a decision that would follow him for the rest of his days. The creature whispered one last time as he turned to leave the tavern. "Human, this is only the beginning." And with those words, the night swallowed the colony, leaving the traveler and the creature bound by a strange promise. A promise of companionship, mystery, and a journey that no one could predict. The unexpected. Bond, the morning sun rose slowly over the colony, painting the streets in pale gold. The human traveler stepped outside the tavern, his boots slightly cleaner than yesterday. Yet his mind was not on cleanliness. It was on the small creature that had changed the rhythm of his life overnight. The silver-furred being was sitting quietly near the entrance, eyes fixed on him, as if it had been waiting. "Human," it called softly. "Come, I want to show you something." Curiosity pulled him forward. He knelt beside it, and the creature nudged a small, smooth stone toward him. It glimmered faintly under the morning. "Light, what is this?" he asked, picking it up, its surface warm in his hand. The creature's eyes flickered. "A memory," it said simply, "of someone who fed me long ago." The human frowned, unsure what it meant, but he felt a strange connection, a thread. Stretching between past and present, the creature's voice carried a weight beyond its size. "Humans like you are rare," it whispered. "You feed not just for food, but because your heart understands." He felt a shiver run down his spine. The creature was not just clever, it read him, understood the unspoken. He decided to trust it more, offering a piece of his breakfast. The creature devoured it eagerly, then returned to cleaning his boots. But this time it moved differently, almost rhythmically, like it was performing a ritual. Each movement precise, yet somehow full of life. The human watched in awe, realizing that every small act of the creature had purpose, and perhaps power, as if the act of cleaning boots was more than service. It was a bond, a language without words. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from the colony's outer gate, metal panels. Screeching under heavy weight, the human froze. "What now?" he muttered. The creature's ears twitched sharply, fur standing slightly on end. "Trouble," it said, almost like a warning. "They come for something. Or someone." He looked up to see shadowed figures moving swiftly, armed and dangerous. Raiders, perhaps. Intent on plunder, the human reached for his weapon, but the creature placed a small hand on his arm, stopping him. "Not yet," it whispered. "Watch and learn." To his amazement, the creature leapt onto a nearby cart, knocking over a pile of crates that crashed loudly onto the street. The raiders froze, startled by the noise. Then the creature darted between barrels and posts, moving faster than the human could track, using strategy and agility far beyond its size. The human realized the being was not just a servant or companion. It was a protector, a silent warrior hiding behind innocence, each action clever, unexpected, and precise. After the raiders fled, muttering curses at the chaos, the creature returned to the human, panting slightly, eyes glowing faintly with a strange light. "Did you see?" it asked, as if testing him. "I can do more than clean boots." He nodded, both awed and slightly fearful. "Yes, I see now," he said quietly, "and I think we need each other." The creature tilted its head, studying him. "Good. You understand faster than most," it replied, then added something that made his heart skip. "Human, you have chosen to feed me, yes, but will you choose to trust me?" He paused, thinking of the last day, the meals shared, the laughter, the strange glimmer of understanding in its eyes. He nodded. "I trust you." And for the first time, he felt a peace he hadn't known in years. The creature curled slightly, brushing against his leg, a gesture so small yet powerful, the human realized that the bond between them had grown. It was not just survival, it was connection, a mutual understanding that could not be broken easily. Just as he started to feel safe, a loud rumble shook the ground, dust falling from the ceilings. A shadowy figure appeared at the edge of the street, larger than any human, alien and menacing, with glowing eyes that searched for the small creature. "There," it hissed. "Give me the one who cleans boots." The human's heart raced. He realized that this bond he had forged was about to be tested in ways he could not imagine. The creature's eyes met his, fierce and unflinching. "Human, feed me. Yes, but fight for me too." Without another word, the human lifted his weapon, positioning himself in front of the creature, knowing that whatever came next, they would face it together. The quiet streets of the colony turned into a battlefield of wit, courage, and unexpected alliances. And the human knew deep down that this was not just about cleaning boots or eating meals. It was about survival, trust, and destiny. A bond that would shape the fate of both of them. And as the shadowed figure advanced, the creature jumped onto his shoulder, claws gripping gently but firmly, eyes glowing brighter, whispering one word: "Ready!" The human's grip tightened on his weapon, adrenaline pumping through his veins. He took a deep breath, and together, human and creature stepped forward, into the unknown, united by choice, trust, and an unbreakable bond. The dangerous trial the colony was quiet again, but the air was heavy with tension. The human and the small, silver-furred creature moved cautiously through the narrow streets. Every sound echoed in the empty corridors. The events of the previous day were still fresh. The shadowed figure had vanished, but its threat lingered. The human kept his hand on his weapon, eyes scanning for movement, while the creature hopped lightly from crate to crate, ears twitching, tail swishing with alertness. "Human," it whispered, "today will test us, not with words, but with danger." He nodded, trusting it completely, even as unease twisted. In his stomach, suddenly, a loud crash shattered the morning calm. The outer gate of the colony splintered as armored raiders poured in, larger and more numerous than before. The human drew his weapon, aiming, but the creature pushed him back. "Gently, wait. Watch," it said, eyes glowing faintly, almost as if it was sensing their movements before they happened. The raiders moved with precision, not chaotic like ordinary bandits. They were organized, trained, and hungry for control. The humans' heart pounded. This was no ordinary attack. The creature leapt forward, spinning between the raider's legs, claws and tiny tools striking with shocking accuracy. It moved like a shadow, unpredictable yet precise. It toppled crates onto the intruders, tripping them, scattering their formation. The human realized with awe that every small act of the creature was a tactic, a strategy, and not mere instinct. It darted between weapons, disarming some, distracting others, while keeping the human safe. The bond between them felt electric, as if they shared a silent understanding. Then a raider spotted the human, raising a weapon to strike, but the creature jumped onto the raider's chest, slashing and biting with surprising strength. The human fired his weapon, hitting another. Raider together, they became a force neither expected. The colony streets were now chaos, dust rising in swirls, the metallic scent of weapons mixed with smoke. Yet amidst the danger, the human felt a strange calm. For the first time in years, he did not fight alone, but the trial was far from over. From above, a massive shadow loomed, a hovering alien scout. Scanning the streets with glowing sensors, it had been tracking the creature, tracking them both. The human's stomach turned cold. He had never faced something like this. The creature glanced at him. "We must move fast. Follow me." And without hesitation, it sprinted toward the narrow alleyways. Only it seemed to know. The human ran, dodging debris and fallen raiders, adrenaline pushing him beyond exhaustion. The creature led him through hidden paths, Climbing walls and vaulting over barriers with impossible agility, they reached a small chamber beneath the colony, walls lined with strange alien glyphs. The human caught his breath looking at the creature. "How did you know this place existed?" The creature's eyes glowed brighter. "This is a safe space for those who trust me," it said, then added with seriousness, "But the real trial is not over. They will come for you next, human." The human realized the full weight of the creature's words. Their survival depended not just on skill, but on trust and understanding. Outside, the raiders regrouped, calling in reinforcements. The sound of heavy steps echoed through the streets above. The creature turned to him, small yet fierce. "You must feed me, yes, but also fight with me, think with me, or the colony is lost." The human nodded, gripping his weapon tightly. "I understand," he said, and for the first time, fear was mixed with determination. A strange feeling of purpose coursed through him. Together, they emerged from the hidden chamber. Using the element of surprise, the creature darted forward, drawing the raiders into traps, leading them into collapsed alleys. While the human covered its movements, shooting, dodging, improvising, every step a dance of strategy, trust, and survival, the raiders had never faced such a combination. Human strength paired with alien cunning, and slowly, chaos turned into control, confusion into victory. Finally, the raiders retreated, defeated but alive, leaving the colony battered yet intact. The human collapsed against a wall, breathing heavily. The creature climbed onto his shoulder, small hands gripping. Gently, "You fought well, human," it said, voice soft yet proud. "And so did you," he whispered back, realizing that the bond they had formed yesterday had turned into something far stronger. A partnership, a friendship, a connection forged in danger and choice. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, casting long shadows across the colony, the human looked at the creature, now calm and playful. "So, you clean boots, eat, and fight now?" he asked with a tired smile. The creature tilted its head. "And more. But only with you, human," it said, eyes gleaming. "Tomorrow, a greater challenge waits." The human shivered slightly, excitement and dread mixing in his chest. He had chosen to feed it, trust it, and now to fight with it. And there was no turning back. The dangerous trial had only strengthened their bond and hinted at the even more powerful adventures to come. The revelation. The colony was silent. Now, but silence often hides danger. The human and the silver-furred creature walked through the dim streets, each step echoing faintly against the walls. The events of the previous days had changed them both. The human's confidence grew, but so did the weight of responsibility. The creature walked beside him, small yet formidable, its eyes flickering with something more than playfulness, something almost like wisdom. "Human," it said softly, "there is something you must know. Something you were not told." The human frowned, curiosity and unease twisting together. "What is it?" The creature led him through narrow alleys, past shattered crates and overturned barrels, toward a hidden chamber, walls glowing faintly with alien symbols. "This place, I have never seen this before," the human muttered, stepping inside. The creature's tail brushed the ground, tracing patterns that lit the walls more brightly. "These symbols, they are old. Very old," it whispered. "Older than the colony, older than humans here. They tell a story, a warning." The human leaned closer, reading shapes that seemed to shift when he blinked, feeling a cold shiver run through him. Then, the creature began to speak, voice low and serious. "I was not born here, human. I was sent." It paused, eyes locking with his. "Sent to protect someone, someone important." The human's heart skipped a beat. "Protect me?" he asked. But the creature shook its head. "Not just you. This colony. Your people. The choice to feed me yesterday, that bond, it awakened something within me. Something old, powerful. The human felt a strange pull, a weight pressing on his chest. Understanding that the small creature he had trusted now carried secrets of ancient power and responsibility, as they spoke, a low hum filled the chamber, walls vibrating. Faintly and suddenly a projection appeared, shimmering in midair, a figure taller than humans, armored and alien, eyes glowing like molten gold. It spoke without moving lips, voice echoing in the human's mind. The Guardian has chosen its human. The trials begin, or the colony falls. The human staggered back, gripping his weapon. "What is this?" he whispered, terror and awe mixing in his chest. The creature stepped forward, body tense, eyes blazing. "The prophecy! It is real," it said, "and it names you." The human's mind raced, disbelief colliding with fear. "Me? Why me?" he asked. But the creature only shook its head. "Because you feed, because you trust, because you chose. This is how it begins." Outside, the streets trembled again. A shadow larger than any building appeared over the colony. Alien ships with weapons unlike any the human had seen, hovering silently, scanning for targets, their engines humming like thunder. "They know? They know the Guardian has awakened," the creature hissed, tail bristling, fur standing on end. Suddenly, alarms blared in the colony, citizens running in panic. The human realized that the quiet streets were no longer safe. The creature leapt onto his shoulder, claws digging lightly but firmly. "We have no time, human. You must fight, not just for yourself, but for everyone." The human swallowed hard, fear gnawing at his gut, yet determination sparked in his chest. "I will." "Whatever it takes," he said, voice steady despite the chaos. The creature nodded, eyes narrowing. "Good. But first you must understand your power too." It moved to the glowing symbols on the wall, brushing its hands across them, muttering, words that sounded like wind and metal combined. A strange light enveloped the human, filling his mind with images, memories not his own. Flashes of battles, alien worlds, strategies, and survival. He saw the creature fighting centuries before he existed, guarding civilizations, feeding, learning, growing stronger with each bond. A revelation hit him. The creature's power is ancient. It feeds on trust, grows stronger with care and choice, and it has chosen him, just as he began to comprehend. A deafening explosion rocked the colony, debris flying in all directions, alien raiders pouring in from every street. The human drew, his weapon, heart pounding. The creature crouched beside him, eyes glowing fiercely. "Ready, human?" it asked, whisper sharp as steel. He nodded. "Ready?" The two leapt into action, human strength and creature cunning moving as one each. Step a test of trust, skill, and willpower. But as the battle began, the human realized the full scale of what lay ahead. The revelation had not eased fear. It had magnified it. The prophecy, the ancient power, the alien threat. Everything was bigger than he imagined, and the creature, beside him, once small and seemingly simple, was the key to survival. The bond they shared was not just companionship. It was destiny, and the trials had only just begun as they moved through the chaos. The creature glanced at him, eyes burning, with intensity. "Tomorrow, human, tomorrow you will see the true danger, and the choice you make will shape more than just this colony." The human swallowed, gripping his weapon tightly, knowing instinctively that whatever awaited, they would face it together. And the audience felt the tension, suspense, and power of the story, hooked for the final showdown. The ultimate choice. The sky above the colony was blood red, alien ships circling like predators, their weapons glowing, ready to strike. The human stood atop the tallest building, gripping his weapon tightly, heart hammering. Beside him, the silver-furred creature crouched, muscles tensed, eyes blazing with fierce determination. "This is it, human. No more hiding, no more running," it whispered, tail swishing. "Today, the choice must be made." The ground below was chaos, citizens scrambling, alarms blaring, explosions shaking the streets. Alien raiders moved in perfect coordination. Their leader, larger than the rest, stepped forward, armor glinting, eyes like molten steel. A voice boomed through the colony, mechanical and cold. "Guardian, surrender, or this colony burns." The human's stomach twisted. He glanced at the creature, small yet formidable. "I will not surrender," he said, voice steady, a spark of courage igniting within him. "Then we fight," the creature replied, a low growl vibrating in its chest. Suddenly, the leader raised its weapon, a beam of energy slicing toward the human. But the creature leapt, catching him, whisking him behind cover, then darted back into the open, slashing, knocking raiders off balance. Every movement precise, almost like a dance. The human realized the creature's training spanned centuries, each strike calculated, each jump intentional. His trust in it was no longer a choice. It was survival. The human peeked over the edge, taking aim, firing at incoming raiders. The creature leaped from shadow to shadow, disarming, tripping, confusing their enemies. Together, they moved in perfect sync, human and guardian, predator and protector. The alien leader growled, eyes narrowing, and with a wave of its hand, the alien ships fired, devastating beams ripping through the streets, buildings crumbling. The human's breath caught, but the creature's tail wrapped around him, shielding him just in time. "Stay with me. Trust me," it hissed. Then came the revelation. The creature's eyes glowed brighter than ever, light spilling across the streets, revealing a hidden power within it, energy surging from its small body, forming a barrier around the human and parts of the colony. The aliens faltered, confused, unprepared for such force. "This power," the human whispered, awestruck. "It's incredible." The creature nodded. "It feeds on trust, on choice, on your bond with me." "Now, human, you must choose." The choice was clear yet terrifying. Feed the creature fully, giving it absolute trust and loyalty, which would unleash its true power, but risk binding himself to it forever, or hold back, keeping independence. But risking the colony's destruction, the human looked around, civilians hiding, alien fire ripping through homes, his heart twisted, fear clawing, yet determination burned brighter. He knew the right choice. "I trust you, fully," he said, voice firm, extending his hand. "Use me." The creature's eyes shimmered, bright silver light engulfing the human, energy crackling around them. Alien ships rocked violently, beams deflecting, weapons failing. Raiders. Thrown back, the colony trembled, then silence fell. The human and the creature stood in the center of a glowing aura, calm and commanding. The aliens frozen, their leader staggering. Realizing defeat, with one final surge, the creature unleashed all its ancient power, not to kill, but to disarm, disable, and send the invaders fleeing. Their ships retreating, beams scattering harmlessly, raiders running in panic. The human staggered, heart pounding, but the creature caught him, tail wrapped around, small body trembling with exhaustion. "We did it," it whispered, eyes softening, playful again. "The colony, safe." The human smiled, relief flooding him. "And we survived." Together, as the dust settled, the citizens emerged cautiously, eyes wide with awe and fear. Whispers of the guardian and the human spread instantly. Legends were born that day, but for the human, the choice weighed differently. He had given trust completely, feeding the creature, connecting their destinies forever. But he felt no regret, only understanding. For in trust, courage, and choice, they had forged a bond stronger than any weapon, stronger than fear, stronger than time, and as the sun set, painting the sky with fire and gold, the human and the silver-furred creature stood atop the tallest building, looking over the colony side by side, ready for whatever new dangers awaited. Knowing that together, nothing could stop them, the ultimate choice had been made, the bond unbroken, the story ending not with fear, but with hope, courage, and the promise of adventures yet to come.